Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'll be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. It's your girl, Mary Jane, back in the building. I did finish moving, but I still have a lot to unload and a lot to unpack, and it's killing me. So let's get into it. Let's talk about Married to Medicine, the reunion part 2. Like, OMG, what is really going on? So we start off with Heavenly. She is crying. She is just wiping her eyes or whatever because she hears the news that Simone is getting a divorce from Cecil. I'm like, OMG. So she's getting a divorce, and Simone is like, don't cry. Like, yo, don't cry me a river. Don't cry for me. Like, yo, I don't cry for me a river and Argentina. Don't cry for me at all. Like, Simone is like, don't cry for me. So Simone's letting the ladies know that she's getting a divorce or whatever. But basically, she let, Toya, and she let, Jackie know that she was getting a divorce and all that other good stuff. And, Toya was like, I just can't believe it. Don't do this, Simone. Cecil said he wants to still be married to you. Then Simone flips out. She goes crazy. She's like, what are you talking about? He wants to be with me. I don't care about what he says. I don't care about if he wants to be with or not, because he hasn't shown me any love. He hasn't shown me any gratitude. He doesn't love me. He hasn't been with me. He don't respect me. He don't do this. He don't do that. I'm like, damn, there is no way. Simone, I rock with you. I like you, but there's no way, like, only the behaviors that are displayed on this show of you getting loud and getting upset and getting mad is something that would deter me from wanting to be in a relationship with you. But it seems like Cecil, he still wants to be married, whatever, but it just seems like, Simone just goes in, like, she's just... Like, she was just telling Toya off. Don't tell me. Nobody on this stage will put up with the mess that he does. He don't love me. We got into a blowout. Like, okay, so since your whole business and everything about you and, Cecil's on the show, how come we don't know? Why don't we know what's the blowout? I want to know what was the blowout about. Before, Cecil left and went with his best friend. So Cecil left, he went with his best friend. And Simone asked him not to go. She goes, if you love me, you better not go. If you love me... No, she didn't say that. She goes, if you leave, we're going to get a divorce. If you walk out that door, we're going to get a divorce. She goes, I asked him, good and well that Simone did not ask Cecil. She yelled, she screamed, she said, if you walk out that door, don't you ever come back. It's over. It's a divorce. Because you heard Cecil telling us the whole season that, like, listen, he was like, Simone's been threatening divorce. Every time we get into argument, she's talking about divorce when they was going through counseling or whatever. But Simone was mad with Cecil because he didn't want to do counseling. They were supposed to do counseling that day, and he wasn't up to it. So she just told him that, we're going to break up. We're going to get a divorce. And it's just like, damn. She was like, her and Cecil hasn't been in love, or he hasn't shown her love. He hasn't really been in a marriage for like 10 years, basically. So you're going to tell me 10 whole years, you guys have been married for 21 years. 10 whole years, you guys did not work on your relationship. You did not work on your marriage. You didn't work on anything until like this season. Until, 2017, 2018, you guys finally decided to work on your marriage and get counseling. When Simone said out of her mouth that 10 years Cecil has been absent-minded, has been absent in the marriage. So it is what it is. And so... she makes Toya feels like shit. Toya feels like, damn, I can't even state my opinion. I can't even state anything. I can't say whatever. So it is what it is. Jackie, jumps up and she goes and, catered to Simone or whatever. And she was like, Simone cussed me out, told me off, told me this, told me that, or whatever. But it's just like, even Jackie said it in the previous season that, damn, are you going to ever learn to stop yelling and screaming? It's like, imagine living with Simone yelling and screaming at you, even though you're wrong. Maybe Cecil, of course Cecil's wrong, they're both wrong, but you don't give somebody an ultimatum, because that's basically, like tearing down his, beating down his male pride, emasculating him in so many different words. Like, when you put an ultimatum and you emasculate a man or woman, I might walk out that door. I might still love you and want to be with you, but you threatening me, talking about if you walk out that door, it's over. I'm sorry, I'll be walking out the door. Because it's the fact that you're trying to, you're giving me demands. Like, it's not like you're into it. Because it seems like if you put a demand like that on it, that you don't want to be in the marriage anymore. But you know what? She's probably just really fed up with Cecil. And basically, Cecil's been running around town with his best friend, his buddy. Damon calls, Heavenly Buddy. So, but, Cecil has a real buddy, and his buddy is his best friend. It's platonic or whatever. He said he loves her like a sister. I don't know. I'm not too cool with my man having a best friend that's a female. I'm not cool with that. I don't know. It just is what it is. I'm not too cool with that. Like, I'm not a jealous person, whatever, but I wouldn't want my husband to have his woman to be a best friend, and they always together. And basically, Simone is saying that, she feels like this woman has became into their marriage like she's manipulative. So that means that she's probably telling Cecil stuff, putting stuff in his head or whatever, but he should be a grown enough man to know. But basically, if he has this woman telling him he's wonderful, he's a good guy, and this and that, then he has Simone at home telling him that he's bad, he's not a good husband, he's not this, he's not that, blasé the third. So basically, he's probably going to run to the ear that is more soothing to him, the voice that's more soothing to him. So sometimes we can run our men into another woman's arm and not even know it, even though Cecil and this woman might not be, messing around with each other at all. But it's like, damn, he can't come to after 21 years. It's like, damn, 21 years, Simone and Cecil cannot talk to each other, cannot communicate, cannot do counseling together. The reason why is because they waited 10 years to actually get help. So, like, the love is gone, the hope is gone. And it seems like Simone is she acts like she's a badder woman, the way she gets upset, the way she gets so dramatic, the way that she was just yelling at Toya. I was like, damn, Toya shouldn't have said nothing. She was like, well, none of you women would have did this. I'm like, damn, throw your husband under the bus, run him over while you at it, set him on fire. Like, shit. Like, I at least have a little bit of decency and a little pride with the shit where you don't throw someone that you've been with for 21 years under the bus, and, you have kids together, whatever, because the kids are going to have to watch this and see, and especially one of their, children are in college or whatever. So it is what it is with that situation. I'm just like, damn. I mean, Simone just went ham, turkey, ham on anybody that will question her. She almost reminded me of Quad for a minute. I was just like, damn. But if Cecil really wanted to work on his marriage, he shouldn't have walked out the door. He should have stayed there. But he probably felt like he was giving her power. So, like, if they wasn't cool for like 10 years and they've been having all these problems, so it probably wasn't a good idea for Cecil to borrow that money for the kids app or whatever. So it is what it is with that situation. I was like, damn. Toya was like, you know what? I understand. Okay, I'll be quiet. Heavenly was like, shut up, Toya. Be quiet, Toya. Just support your friend. I was like, come on, Heavenly, please. Heavenly went from crying to getting on Toya's ass. I was like, okay. For a moment, I thought, Heavenly tears were real, but I guess not. So, damn, who's this Cecil best friend? That it as the best friend that is Cecil's, as she's the type of woman that he desires to have, but he doesn't have anymore. He once had that in his wife, Simone. That's some crazy shit. And I wonder, have Cecil or Simone possibly moved on with other people? Because, Simone was just like, I told him if he leave, we're going to get a divorce. So what you expect me to do? It was like, did she really want to file for divorce? Or she did it because, she wanted to show that she holds the power. She shows that she holds the hand in the relationship, that she's the dominant person in the relationship. What is it? What's the deal with that? Because the way she said it, what you expect me to do? He walked out that door, so I divorced him. I'm like, my God. Like, damn. This is an OBGYN, like, but shit, she goes ham. She ain't playing around with us. So it is what it is. And I guess his buddy will continue to be his buddy, but, it is what it is. It's just like, but, Simone was like, everything has to come to an end. Nothing lasts forever, and it has come to an end. And then that's when, Quad was asked the question, what do you feel like? What do you hear when you hear what, Dr. Simone says about her relationship with Cecil? And he asks, Quad that question. Quad was like, it's like a mirror image. It's just like a mirror image. It's the same thing I'm going through when someone doesn't appreciate you. I was just like, here we go, Quad. Go on, girl. You go, girl. So basically, she's crying. Quad and Dr. G are just way too much. Like, I don't know with them. Like, they are undescribable. So, anyways, so Quad was like, it's just, you know, it's horrible. And she cries, and it is what it is. But she's staying with, Dr. G. So she must got some type of love for him. She must want to be with him because she can't walk away. Like, she has the bags, she has money, she has an education, she has notoriety too as well. And plus, she has a little bit of fame, a little bit of she's popping right now. So she could leave Dr. G, and then she have even much of a storyline. But this storyline with her and Dr. G, you can't beat that. That's just like, you can't beat that at all. Like, damn. So anyways, it is what it is. Dr. Dax, Jackie, what did she think about the situation? Dr. Jackie was like, I'm just going to support her and be there for her. And so we go back to Mariah. Mariah's backstage because she's not going on the stage because she's upset. She's mad. She's furious because, Dr. Heavenly, drawed on her picture, like on her poster that she blew up, which was wrong and disrespectful. But shit, it ain't nothing for you to leave the stage for. It ain't nothing for you to cry over. I don't know. I guess, sometimes I can't tell her how to feel. She feels the way but like, it ain't that serious. And if I was Dr. Aiden, I wouldn't be over there, hooraying her on. I would be like, you're my wife. You're a strong woman. You get up and you go back on that stage. You don't let nobody draw on your poster at all. Let's draw on it together and let's go. Go out there and show them what you're working with. Show them what you got. Show them that you ain't no cry, baby. Show them that you ain't scared. Show them that you don't gotta cry. You don't gotta fear. Show her that don't mean me no harm. But you know what? I think Mariah had to drag this out so she can prove a point that Dr. Heavenly does some shady shit and she's wrong at some times and she does things to get under people's skin. So I think Mariah wanted to make sure she pivots that point and make sure that everyone knows that, Mariah did something wrong. I mean that, Dr. Heavenly did something wrong and disrespectful. And this is how she be doing things and how underhand she can be. And sometimes she can be very direct with her disrespect. So anyways, when Andy goes to check on Mariah, Aiden runs up to the door like he's moving around like this. I had it in the slideshow, but I didn't even put it up. So anyways, Aiden act like he was going to attack anybody that came through that door. Like, but he was like all off balance. Like he was like, I don't know. He was just like shuffling around like he was gonna do something. I was like, what's going on? And I thought that was the most funniest part of the reunion when Andy came to the dressing room of Mariah's and Aiden act like he was going to maul or beat down anybody that came through the door for Mariah, and he was all off balance. It was just, I just thought that was funny. Aiden's trying to defend his woman honor. He looks scared at the same damn time. So anyways, Mariah talks to, Andy, Heavenly says she's going to apologize. But basically, we know Heavenly's really not going to apologize. It's not going to really, because, I don't think they should force, Dr. Heavenly to apologize if she's not really sorry. What's a fake apology? You know what I mean? Basically, Mariah could have just went out there and was like, yo, you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, blase and the third. But it also deflects, what the ladies were saying about Mariah, going on live with her and her mom threatening, to shoot to shoot, Heavenly and all this other stuff and bust a cap in somebody's ass and, Heavenly pimping out her daughter. A lot of people did think Heavenly was pimping out her daughter this season, but that could just be, mom and daughter love together. She's showing her daughter, getting her out there because, her Aurora, she has a song that is trending on iTunes, and plus her father has a record label, and if that's his orders, it's a good promotion. That's what you call using your head or whatever. But then, also the rumors out there too that Quad and Dr. Heavenly, go on Twitter, go on Instagram and take little, shots at, Mariah, and also Quad takes shots on Sister Circle at Mariah. So it is what it is. They both go back and forth or whatever. But, Mariah being in her lives for hours is some shit with her mom, her sister, whatever. So Anyways, Mariah gets a safe word, and it's Purple acting like she's all scared. Mariah, you better get up there, and your mother, Mama Lucy didn't tell you to be scared, to be running. Mama Lucy would have been like, girl, you better get up there and fight. Now she would have been, having her act that same way so people could know, and basically try some way to show that, Heavenly is really terrible, basically. So anyways, we cut to the guys. So the guys basically are out there at the bar, and they talk about Cecil divorce or whatever, and Cecil was like, yeah, it is what it is, basically, that it's a bad thing that we both haven't done what we were supposed to do. We both of us think the other one is not putting in work. I really want to change, or really doing the things that they need to do to have a great marriage, to have a better marriage, and all this other stuff. So basically, Cecil's taking the blame as well, and he's putting blame on Dr. Simone too as well. And he was like, sometimes things happen, and sometimes things come to an end as well. And he's talking about being a role model, but he's like, sometimes it's whatever's gold don't glitter, basically. And so then that's when Andy asks Cecil about his friend. Did he go golfing? What type of friend is this? Is this friend getting involved in your marriage, whatever? So Cecil said yes. Basically, she kind of like interferes in the marriage, this and that, but he does not have any. It's a very platonic relationship. It's nothing going on in a relationship. It's actually, a really good friend that he plays golf with, that he has an understanding with, and blase the third. And so basically he just says it is what it is. And so then that's when Dr. Aiden jumped in, was like, I can't believe this is happening. Simone delivered my daughter Lauren or whatever, and I know that for a long time. I look up to Cecil and Dr. Simone as inspiration, and he can't believe it. Dr. G was like, I pride my marriage after yours. But so I guess you're priding your marriage after the wrong marriage because it's not working. And evidently, if we go back to what Simone said, it hasn't been working for almost 10 years. If we listen to what Simone says. And so that's when Dr. Damon jumps in, and he goes, Cecil, you got on your ring and this. Now, I must say, Dr. G does look nice. And, I think the guys actually outdid the women this season in the outfits. The combined of the guys together outdid the women in the dressing. I don't know how it happened, but it did. Maybe their wife dressed them. So anyways, Dr. Damon was like, you got on your ring and everything, so I see there's hope and all this other good stuff. And he was like, I just can't believe this. And he was like, I want the marriage to stay together because it seems like there's an attack on marriages. There's an attack on family unity, and I totally do agree with Dr. Damon on that. With so many different images that are out there, Dr. Damon is absolutely right. I do agree with him. It is what it is. And so when we get to Jackie and, Curtis, and basically asking Curtis about, like, did you feel nervous? Did you feel scared this season? Was this and that because you're going to be facing, talking about the cheating scandal? He was like, I just know I just had to give my wife back. Nervous, I wouldn't say. Curtis is so cocky. It is just ridiculous how cocky he is. So you can see why Dr. Jackie likes her a cocky man, because she can be cocky too as well, but she's also very timid too as well. And so, he was like, I knew it was going to be hard. I knew it was going to be trying. I knew it was going to be a lot of information out there, basically. And he said, but what I won't like, what I don't like, what I can't stand, and what really bothers me is when, basically addressing Eugene, that, Eugene took shots at him and threw him under the bus, every chance he got when it came to Curtis and, his cheating scandal, cheating on his wife, whatever. And so he was like, you don't throw digs at a friend. You talk to me, pull me to the side, talk to me to the side, just let me know how you feel or whatever. But don't take shots at me. Don't kick somebody while they're down. When you see somebody struggling, don't make them struggle even harder. And don't, be so judgmental and so opinionated, basically. Basically, he was calling Eugene out for being a B. And so Eugene was like, yo, listen, what you did is against my religion, against my sanctity of marriage. You violated your vows, and it was wrong, and it was terrible, basically. And he was like, and I felt some type of way about it. Maybe I was joking, maybe I wasn't. Then when Curtis went on like, yo, you being so opinionated. So then that's when Eugene, well, then maybe I wasn't joking. Maybe I was telling the truth. And so then they go to Dr. Damon, I mean, they go to, Dr., G, and, Andy goes, is there some truth in every joke? And he was like, So basically, Curtis and Eugene squashed it, but I don't think they're going to be as cool as they once was. It didn't seem like they were that cool at all, you know what I mean? But they seemed like they tolerated each other, so it seems like, Eugene did apologize for being, judgmental and throwing basically Curtis under the bus. And then we go on to, Dr., Damon talking about his situation. And not Dr. Damon, but, Dr. G talking about his situation, about just him and Quad and how, like, they're struggling. And basically, I don't know how Quad and Dr. G actually maintain a relationship. I'm just like, oh my God. But first we talk about Eugene. He says Toya lied about her sex level or whatever being a 10. He was like, she's really a 5. And Dr. Eugene said he's really a 4. He's a 4, whatever. Then they talk about masturbating and all this other stuff. And basically, Eugene put it out there that if you masturbate and if you have sex, a lot, it prevents you from getting colon cancer or prostate cancer, I believe. And he was saying that because you ejaculate and stuff like that. And so that's when, Dr. Damon jumped in and he said a little words. He was like, yeah, it is true. That has been done. He was like, he wasn't happy to hear about masturbation from Eugene this season. And so that's when Dr. G jumps in and was like, yes, if you actually ejaculate 200 times a year, it really, increase your life expectancy. I heard differently, but, they're doctors and I'm not. So, moving on from that, I was just like, okay, get that. So anyways, so now we got Mariah and we got Dr. Heavenly, and they're going face to face about this poster. Dr. Heavenly's not really trying to apologize. She's saying, so what, whatever. Mariah was like, you hurt me, you did me wrong, and you guys are standing for this. You guys are not standing up for me. You guys are letting this behavior go on. You letting it go on or whatever. So that's when, Dr. Simone got into it. She starts to yell. She starts to scream, make her nose like, how can you say that we allowing her behavior? How can you say this? How can you say that? Well, that's blah, blah, blah. So anyways, Dr. Damon looks like he's pissed. He's like, I can't believe this woman's sitting here talking about my wife. And Ada's like, go wife. And, what's his name? Curtis is just looking at Simone like, look at her go. Look at her yell and scream. I face it all the time. At least it ain't me this time. That's what it looked like. So anyways, Mariah's accusing the ladies of supporting, Heavenly ill behavior, her bad behavior, and things like that. And, Mariah was like, it was my blow up. I liked the poster. Because Anthony was like, why would you do that? Why would you have a big ass poster like that? She was like, I thought it really looked beautiful or whatever. And so it is what it is with that situation. So we get Dr. Jackie and Curtis. Basically, they ask Curtis questions about, did he want to get caught cheating because he knows he's on TV. So why would he do this anyway? He goes, no, I did not want to get caught cheating and anything like that. And I didn't do it because I wanted, to get caught. I did it because I made a mistake and I was wrong and I shouldn't have did it. And basically, I'm here trying to make the situation better. And so then, Curtis asks another question. Then it's Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie, you said last reunion that if, if you can't make Curtis happy, he needs to find somebody else to make him happy. And, so basically, isn't that what, Curtis did? She's like, no, this is what really happened. I told him, he can find someone that makes him happy, but it has to be when we're divorced and we're no longer together. I'm not giving him permission to cheat on me or be with somebody else. And all the other ladies agreed, they co-signed. So basically, she's just saying that, if I can't make you happy, find somebody else to make you happy, but leave me first, divorce me, take the ring off. So it is what it is. And then they ask, Doctor, they ask Curtis, like, they asked Dr. Jackie, so how did you feel about all the gifts that Curtis was giving you? Do you still have your bag? Do you still have, like, dumbass questions? She was like, yes, I still have the bag. And I was like, oh, did did the wound kind of like heal quicker because, Curtis went out shopping for you and brought you all types of gifts? She was like, it didn't soften the blow, but it did help a little bit because I know he was really doing what he was supposed to. I knew he was doing something that he really wants to do. And that's actually, go shop online and go out shopping. He's not that type of person or anything. Like, I couldn't tell from all of the socks he be wearing. His socks be on point and his handkerchiefs be on point on Curtis. So anyways, she was like, so he could have he could have the woman he was cheating on by by the gifts. But anyways, she was like, but I really understood that he was trying to make an effort, and blase the third. So anyways, basically they asked Jackie if she trusts Curtis. She was like, she's trying to, but she still has that hurt. She still has the wounds. It still comes up because, once you are over it, sometimes you can have a thought or something can remind you of that feeling, and then you can go back into that moment of when you first found out that, your boyfriend or your husband cheated on you, where it can bring you back to that moment. So you got to take a breather. It doesn't go away right away, but she's making the steps to forgive him. And basically Curtis is back in the bed. He's back in the bed. So it is what it is with that situation. And their divorce is over. They was gonna get a divorce, but they got the divorce papers annulled or dismissed or thrown out. So basically they're working on their marriage. So we get Quad and Dr. G, and here we go with Quad. He don't appreciate me. He don't appreciate what I do for him. He doesn't appreciate anything I do. He's not emotional there for me. He's not emotional support. He's not there. You with somebody that don't love you. You with somebody that don't show you love. Somebody don't show you appreciation. Somebody don't show you affection. So she goes down that road, and Dr. G goes down his road with monetary things. And his monetary thing is, you said that when you met me that I wouldn't buy you a bracelet, and look at the I wouldn't buy you jewelry and stuff like that, and look what you got on your arm, diamond crusted and everything, and you wanted a range, and look, you got a range. I spent 10 racks on the bracelet. I spent 50 racks on the truck. All the lady was like, hey. So it is what it is. So basically, Dr. G brings up the money situation. And I think he brings up the money situation because he doesn't know how else to appreciate his wife. And it's kind of sad that he doesn't know another way to show that he supports his wife other than, buying her stuff. And maybe a good thing would be if he can actually say, like, I support your career, I invest in your career, I give you time, I give you space. And also say, I rub your feet when you get home from work, I cooked you dinner, I took out the trash, I washed your car for you, but we know he's not going to be washing no car. They don't need nobody washing the car. I brush your hair, I run the bath water for you. Some different things like that will be more nice if he can say that too as well. Say, hey, I put this on your wrist, I put you in this car, and basically I cater to your needs and try to make you feel special as well. So it is what it is with that. And so they go back to the monetary thing, and then that was like, what does Quad do that doesn't make you happy, Dr. G? And he basically was like, he want a family, he want kids, he want to have Sunday dinner, he wants to have all the things that he want to have in a marriage. He wants to have the things that everybody on stage has, that other than Jackie, of having a family, having kids, and having that or whatever. And plus his time, he's 56 and she's 36. They're not going to be young forever. So basically, and it was like, oh, Quad, are you holding that on his head, over his Dr. G's head? And Quad was like, no, I'm not holding it over his head. I want to have a child too as well, but I'm not going to bring a child into this relationship because they fight like cats and dogs. Imagine Quad and Dr. G in their house together. We think Simone be going at it. Dr. G does not have a chill pill. He goes from a 0 to 100. Quad goes from a 0 to 100. And I can see he's like, damn, Dr. G is a psychiatrist and he don't know how to deal with his woman. He don't know how to deal with her head. I guess sometimes you can't, your profession sometimes doesn't work at home with you or whatever. So, and it just seems like it's a bad situation. Like going back and forth. So basically, that's when Quad was like, I do this for you, I do that for you. You know, you wanted your office to start at a certain time, you wanted this to happen, I got that happen. I went to the contract, I was out in the Georgia heat, I was doing this and I was doing that, I was doing this and I was doing that for you. And so then, you know, Quad goes back to, I did this for you, I cook, I clean, I do this, I help you out with your office. And he was like, yo, like, you did a little bit of work, but don't act like it was all you. I put some work into it too. Like, she was like, oh, well, you did the paperwork. He was like, it was way more than that. It's like they don't both appreciate each other. They both don't appreciate what each other's do for one another. Basically, it seems like, you know, they're always trying to one up each other. Like, okay, if he does something nice for her, she tries to do something nice for him. So now when they get into an argument, they throw out what they do for each other. It's like, doesn't seem like what they do is genuine now for each other. But I believe when they first got together, they wanted to prove to one another. That's why he brought her all the stuff that he brought her. He laced her because she was dating ballers and shot callers. So he was doing everything that she wanted. He was attentive to her needs and what she wanted. Whatever she said, if it was jewelry or whatever, or cars, he was attentive. At the beginning, Dr. G told Quad that he wants a southern woman. He wants a homebody. He wants a family. He wants this and that. And she there's the same thing as well. So they both wanted a child. And then plus at one time, you know, Quad was saying that she was home. She was cooking. She was cleaning. She was doing everything for him. Like, she wasn't focusing on her career or doing any type of different gigs or networking or trying to be out there, you know, in a career world, in a career fashion at all. You know, she wasn't trying to do that, period. And she was just basically dedicated to her husband, because a lot of people were saying that she's there for the money, she's there for this. So you can see when Dr. G said, I want my friend back. Like, we used to hang out with Mariah, we used to do all this other stuff. So it seems like in the beginning, they both had something to prove to each other. So once they don't have anything to prove to one another anymore, it's just chaos and argument. And their marriage sounds really scary if they're portraying what's really going on at home. It really sounds scary. So you got Mariah jumping in talking about Quad is all about you. Quad, it does sound all about you. It does too as well. But, you know, Dr. G's not getting the big picture. Like, okay, Dr. G needs to do more too as well. And he said, stop throwing up like what he buys for her. I want you to start throwing up how you emotionally support her. Like, you know, you're asking about her day. When she comes home, you have the bath water running. You have the flowers on the floor. You cook dinner. Bring a chef over. You know, do the laundry. Do the clothes. You know, take out the trash. Show her, you know, ask her how her day was when she gets home. You know, be attentive to her needs and what's bothering her, like you was in the beginning. And if Quad can go back like she was in the beginning, you know, pampering Dr. G, pampering him, making him feel like he's the number one uno man. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. With that situation, you know, Eugene was like, you know, I'm totally confused about emotional. Like, you wasn't clear. You don't really explain yourself accurately. I don't understand. So basically, Quad tries to explain herself. Mariah jumps in. So it is what it is. But we find out that Dr. G went out whenever, and he was with his homeboy, and he went to a hotel with 2 women. And we don't know what he did with the 2 women, if he already went there, and if this is the biggest issue in their relationship, that he possibly cheated, or he didn't cheat, but she's just heard that he was in a hotel room with another woman, and she doesn't know for sure if he actually cheated. And now it seems like, you know, Jackie done got cheated on, Mariah done got cheated on, and Quad possibly got cheated on or have been cheated on. So we'll find out next week. Peace, I'm out. One love. Married to Medicine. Mary Jane's out the building.